Hi everyone, it's Dasher Dave here again, back for another crafty video. So, today we're going to play with some resin. So, we're not using the 3D resin printer yet. Me and Vic have got to set it up yet, but now I'm in the craft room, it's all sorted. I can and I will soon, but at this very moment in time, we're just going to play with some UV resin. So, I've played with this before, but I want to make some of like specimens like this. I've got various sizes of these. So I've got them this size, and I also have some smaller ones here. I've got hundreds of these, to be fair. So I thought I would make some of these to go in. I'm going to make a folio. Thought I'd make some that were like this, that have got insects in. But I also thought I might make some that look a little bit like, you know, like a petri dish that's had things growing in it. So I'm still not well-wise. Still coughing. I will have to edit things out. I will try and remember to edit things out. Goodness only knows how I'm going to remember to do that. I need to get a piece of card so that I can pull that into shot. I'm now sneezing a lot as well, because, you know, why not? Why ever not? Why have one illness when you can have 53,000? Goodness sake. So I shall try. I'll get my piece of card. So I shall try to refrain from coughing. And now I've said that, I'm going to have to cough, so you just have to bear with me a second. So, I can't say that C-O-U-G-H word because it makes me C-O-U-G-H. So, it's going to have to be never mentioned, all right? Every time I see it or read it or hear myself doing it, so when I'm doing the editing, it makes me do it again, so it's not good. So, at least I have my humour, eh? You know, what more can we do? So what I've got is, I've got my, this is my UV light. I've got some UV resin. And I've got, this is some colorant for resins. So I'm going to use whatever I feel. I haven't really used many of them. Look, some of them look like they've been used more than others, and that's because they were given to me. A friend of Brian's, Graham, well, Graham lives in the same house as Brian, is allergic to some resins, and so he's had to clear out what he had, and he's donated the colours to me. So thank you very much for that. That's very useful to me. Right, I'm gonna have to. Excuse me a moment while I blow my nose. I tell you now, this is really annoying. You know, it might be annoying for you because I keep having to edit it, but I'm editing out the bits so you don't have to listen to me cough and split. Oh, I said it, didn't I? Luckily, it didn't make me do it. I feel like I need to sneeze though, and I've suddenly become very bunged up. So I'm going to try and keep myself hydrated throughout the video, because that also helps to kind of clear the mucus, etc. So nobody wants to have a conversation about mucus. So let's move on. So what I'm going to do is, this is my little crucible for mixing my resins in. These are silicone. This is a silicone mat. Whenever you're using anything to do with epoxy, it's best, especially UV epoxy, it's best to use the silicone mat. That way then you can cure it on the mat, you can cure it in the, so anything that's left in here, the way to clean it out is to leave it in here, put it under the UV light, cure it, and then it'll just pop out, basically. So, me and breathing, we don't mix. So, anyway, let's get back to this. So, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pop a little bit of colour in. Okay, what should I do? Let's make one of the petri dish style ones first. So I was thinking if we had it red, because they tend to be that kind of like, looks almost like strawberry jelly red. So I thought if we had a bit of colour, so I tend to put the colour in first and then put the resin on top, and then unscrew my resin.
So I will probably link the UV resin in the description. I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you buy it through the link, then I get a small percentage of the sale. It doesn't incur any cost to you. So it doesn't change the price. You don't pay more for it. It's just that I get a percentage of it. So, but I have to tell you that because it's a promotional thing, and I need to let you know if I'm, getting any money from anything. So there we go. Okay, right. It's very hard for me to tell on a red background whether this is the right colour. So, but I'm trying not to laugh, because if I laugh, then I cough. So I think that's probably that's all right. It's kind of the same colour that I was expecting it to be. So these are coin holders, and they come apart by I don't know whether you can see that, but just here there's a little indentation. You put your nail in there and you pull it apart, just like that, like that, and it all flies all over the place. So, you've got one that's the base. The base has a lip around the edge, and the lid is just like straight, doesn't have a lip. So that's how you can tell the top and the bottom. So basically the lid sits over the top of the base. So I'm going to pop this into here, and I want to harden this first before I do anything to it, before I make any kind of like trace mark. And you'll see what I'm going to make that kind of like I can't think what the words are. Me and words, like the bacterial growth. You'll see what I'm going to make that out of shortly. You'll have seen me use it before, so it will be no surprise to you when I use it. So I'm just going to run this round so that it sits nicely inside the disc. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put it under the dryer. So this is just the kind of same thing that you'd get if you were doing your nails, and you put it on, and it's got a preset timer to it. I think it's 30 seconds, it might be 40, I don't know, but I tend to put it in and see how long it takes. So like I'll put it in, and if I'm not happy with it, I'll put it back in again and just cure it a little bit longer. If you are using anything that isn't transparent all the way round, then you'll often find that it hardens it on the top surface, but underneath it's still sticky. So you just have to bear that in mind, that you might have to put it in for several times, because what you're getting is the light to penetrate through the resin. So the clear resin, because it allows light to transmit through it, it'll just take a bit longer to do if it's in a non-transparent thing. So you can tell by, if you just put a tiny bit of, I always wear gloves by the way, a tiny bit of your glove on, and if it's a little bit tacky, you know that it's not quite done. So what we'll do is, let's make another one of those. So you can never tell how much you're going to need. So I try to make it in small batches. Don't make loads of it, otherwise you find that you've actually wasted it. You can't put it back in once you've got it out, because it's already started to react with the UV in the environment. So make sure your lid goes back on. Make sure it's in a black container. Don't take it out of that container, and keep it out of direct sunlight and all of that good stuff. You need to be in direct sunlight, it doesn't. So what I like about this is because it's UV, it's not mixing two parts, which tends to have a lot more fumes to it. And really, my chest at the moment, I can't be doing with any kind of fumes. Right, okay, we've done that one. Let's do another one of them. I've just got to find that bit now. Where on earth is that? Oh, it's there. It's like trying to find the end of the sellotape. Right, so they're the two lids, and let's move those to one side. I'll just scrape that off a bit. So I'll try and keep everything on the mat when I'm working, and that way then any spillages will just dry on the mat and they'll harden on here, and they'll be easy to peel off. If you get them on your craft mat, you're probably stuck with it for, well, however long you've got your craft mat for. So straighten it all off. Now put that on there and just run that round a bit. Now I know I've played with this UV resin before, but I just love it. It's just so much fun. If you get air bubbles in it, you can get them out by, oh, not with that, Dave. Oh, they're there. I have another pin cushion. So I've got this pin cushion, which doesn't have any pins in it, and then I've got this pin cushion, which has got every pin you can think of in it. So you just need to get a pin, like a narrow kind of, well, needle, a needle pulling thread, and it to follow so, and you can just you can either tease it out, or you can, in theory, you can pop it. There you go, popped it. And then just wipe off the end of it, otherwise you'll end up with a gooey mess on the end. So I'm going to pop that in there, and while I'm doing that, I'm going to do this. So remember this expand it stuff. I've not tried this, so I just thought I'm going to give it a go. So I thought this would be good as, because it bubbles up, I thought if we pop a bit on the end of a swab, or in this case cotton bud, and we kind of just put like a line across it. You know how like they would just sweep a line, although it's because it's so thick it probably doesn't want to do it like that, but I'm going to put a line on it, try and make it look like it's been wiped with something. I don't know whether you can thin this stuff down, but the light's gone off on that, so I'll just put that back on again. Not quite turning out the way I thought it might, but you know, hey, let's try a cocktail stick. You know, it's craft. It doesn't have to be perfect. Oh, that's better. That's going on better. Because you need to have some level of thickness for it to kind of bubble. This looks like Zorro's been here, so that goes on much better like this. Oh well, we've got a pretty M. Just make that into a bit more of a random shape. There we go. And then if I use my heat gun, which who knows where that's gone, it's here somewhere. Well, there's the plug. I found the plug. So so if I trace that back to wherever the other end is, I should be able to find it. Aha! There it is. So get my trusty Mavis the brick in, pop that on there, and we'll just heat that up, and hopefully it'll bubble up like I want it to, without melting the plastic anyway. Is it going to work? Oh, yeah, it is. It's just taking its sweet time. There you go. It looks pretty gross, doesn't it? So, there we go. There's our culture that we've grown. So, I'll just put the lid back on there. Oh, and maybe you should wait until it's cooled down, Dave, because you've just added condensation to the mix now. Oh, now there's now the now the steam has contracted. It's harder to get the lid off. There we go. Let's leave it to dry first, Dave. Let's try that one again, shall we? So we won't use that. We'll use the cocktail stick. Maybe a thin brush would be better. Maybe it will. I don't know how they put it on in a lab. They just do. I think I could have done with probably a thin brush would have been better. But you know, we don't care. We're making it up as we go along, and that's what. Going for the curvy element. This is how my brain works anyway, so. And you're saying, this is your brain working? Yes, cheeky. This is how my brain works. So, there we go. It's kind of a wiggle. So we know that. We know that works. Oh, I've got stuff on me now. So I've stopped thinking about that illness that I've got, and I've stopped making. I know I don't want to put that under the UV, Dave. So put the lid on there. So I could colour that, and if I used some Brusho, I could colour it and make it an interesting colour, which I might do in a minute. But what we'll do is we'll pop that crucible under there with the tool that I was using, and that'll just harden off. Put that in the bin so it gets out of the way, and then where's that piece of paper towel? Yes, use that and just wipe. Expand it up. Right, okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to do one where we're going to have I was going to say a gremlin in it, but we're not going to put gremlin in it. We're going to put an insect. That's the word. Gremlin. Same difference. Okay. all my words are interchangeable. So, you know, if I don't have the right words, I just use one of them, and it's a word. And then you have to guess what I meant. So I'm just going to put that one back on again. Wipe up all the bits of goo. Get rid of well, I won't get rid of it actually, because I just thought if I get any more air bubbles, I'll need it. So this one I'm going to do with, make it look a bit like this, a bit aged, like it's yellowed. So a few drops of this in there. I'll just put 3 in there actually, and then put the resin in. So if you let it run down before you squeeze it, you'll get less air bubbles in the actual mix, just let it come out in a nice like stream like that. I don't know if you could see that anyway, but okay, and now we'll mix this. So it does have a little bit of an odour to it, and that is what's making my chest react. So, but it's not a horrible, it's not a strong odour, and it's not toxic. It's just anything is really making my chest react at the moment. So this now is dry. It looks wet. It's just because it's shiny, and all you need to do now is just bend it and twist it and get it all off, or use a cloth to get it off with, a cloth to get it off. So if you just pull it, it'll just come off. And then this again looks wet, but if you just turn it inside out, it looks like a sweet. Don't eat it. Don't let your kids find it. So you can just turn your crucible, because these came with the set that I purchased, and they're just made of silicone, so they're just very flexible. So I've got a weird, my voice is kind of all over the place at the moment, isn't it? It's kind of a bit, I'm not sure whether it's got that kind of, has it got that kind of husky, sexy sound to it, or is it just sound terrible? I don't know. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that to one side, and we'll put a butterfly in. Now I will say it doesn't really work very well when you've got PVC gloves on and you've got stickers, so this could be interesting. So let's just open this up and see what we've got in here. I just need one that will fit in the space. So I did have a look at this. I did have that one that was kind of out, but it needs to fit in the petri dish. I don't think it does, no. I'd have to chop his wings off, and I think that would be a bit unfortunate. So I've got this one, maybe that one. Now I'm hoping that when I put the resin on, you won't see the outline of the plastic so much. So there's that one, or that one. Let's see what else there is. Is there anything a bit more colourful? That's, oh no, not really. I mean, I know they're all green, but didn't know whether there was a bit more colour to the green. Like that's got a bit more colour to it. In fact, I could probably get that in there. Take that out. If I'd cut the very tips of the plastic off, which don't take the colour of the wing, I might get that in there. Might I? Or I might not, maybe. Well, I could give it a bit of shape. So I don't think I'm going to bother taking it off the backing plastic. I think what I'm going to do is, if I pop a tiny bit of this, so we're using now the resin as a glue. We pop that on there, centre it, push it down, and flip it over. So it sits in the thing, kind of in the middle, like that. Flip it over and get that back bit to dry. Then I could just tuck its wings in it. I might give it a bit of shape. Well, let's see if we've got another one that we can put in. This is off my hands. So, what's that one? Will that go in there? That'll easily go in there. That's fine. So, let's parcel those back up again. Try and get them get off my mat without going on the floor, or not. Sticky fingers now. I'm just going to put them over there. That's where I'm putting them. Oh, and I did cut these out. I forgot about these. I'd fussy cut these. Me, I know, fussy cutting. Look at the size of that, and I fussy cut it. I know. This is what you do for your YouTube people. So I think that one hopefully will fit in there, which it will. And if it doesn't, I'll push it in. No need for violence, Dave. Where is the thing on this one? You know, when you get to that age, you just spend ages looking for the end of the sellotape. Yeah, that's the age I'm at. So what I did with these is, and the same with this one, is I didn't actually cut the antennae that were on there because they were so micro fine. There was no way I was going to be able to see that and cut that properly. So all I did was I just cut 2 bits of white paper like I've done here, and I just put a black marker pen over it and made it look like antennae. Cheating basically. And again, you just give it a bit of a shape. So I'm going to shape the wings so they're a bit more curly, so it gives it a bit of dimension. You can't really tell. You don't have to do this. This is just me being me. Pop a bit of this on his body. Oh, just drop him onto the thing. Not what I meant to do, but hey, it worked. And then just press him down. So he makes a bit of contact. That one can come out. That one can go in. Do that. And then what I'm going to do with this one is I'm going to just tweak those so that they... There's my thing there. My pokey tool. So I'm just going to pick that up and just hopefully keep that in the right place. I think I've just peeled it off though. No, he's going to have to... No, you see, I've just peeled him off. Oh well. I'm going to cut the... I'm going to clip his wings. I'm really sorry, butterfly, but you're not going anywhere anyway, so you're going to be in a specimen dish in a minute. So there you go. Well, it fits now. So I don't need to glue him down now. What I will do is I'll just put a little bit of this on the base, and kind of just let it find its way. Press that onto that, so there's some of that behind him. Press it down a bit, and then I'm going to put some of that on top. And of course I'm going to have to make more because I've made all of these extra things now, but that's absolutely fine. So I know there's a lot of my hands in the way on this video, I'm afraid, but it's not easy to do without being in the way. So, and then I'm just going to run that round so that it meets all the sides. There's only one side because it's a circle, Dave, so there we go. And then I can pop, that's ready now, pop that in there, put that on. Okay, and we need to make some more then, so we'll try and make a bit more. So if we go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Can't count. I need Count von Count to help me count, basically. Okay, I've got more resin. I did buy myself some more resin. I don't get a percentage of the sale if I buy it myself, so alas. So just stir that round. It's a bit darker, that yellow this time, but it's alright. It's not an issue. When that one goes off, I will put it back on again because I want it to be a bit darker than that. Sorry, a bit harder than it is otherwise. So I'm just putting a little bit on like that, and then I'm going to run it round so that it kind of sits underneath those leaves that I've just wings that I've just shaped. So run it round so that it kind of goes underneath. You just have to be careful that you don't let it slosh over the edge. And if you do need to kind of tease it, use one of these. Come with like these lovely, lovely. I'd say lovely. They're not lovely, but like these silicone accessories, which just means that you don't end up with loads of cocktail sticks with all gooed up. I did say I was going to put that back on, didn't I? So make sure it sits underneath the wings as well. You need to push them down a bit, then do, just to make sure that they sit in, and then put some more over the top of them. You just don't want to fill it up too much. It will shrink back a bit. You need to encourage it over the areas, then do so. But like I say, it'll shrink down. You know, just don't dome it, otherwise you won't get the lid back on. Because even when you dome it and it shrinks down a little bit, it still won't be able to get the lid on. So that's that one. That's ready to go. That's waiting to go in. That's done, Dave. They're both done. Right, that one's ready. And that we just need to leave it to just cool a little. Pop that in there. Put that one on. Right, let's make this one sit in there. So maybe a tad of that. Oh, Dave. Or maybe a lot of that. Just pop that in there and that should hold it down. I think it's another one of them ones where it's just a bit too long. Manhandle it into there. It's got a bit of dimension, whether it likes it or not. There we go. And I think we're just going to put some resin in there. And just let that one sit, because there's not a lot of space to give it a wiggle. And we'll put a blob of that down just so it kind of sticks to something for the time being. There. And then put some of this over the top. That one should be done. That one can go in. I might put that one in for a little bit longer. I can't remember how long that one was in for. No, I've run out of goo. I need more goo. More goo. Where's me goo gone? No, I don't need the goo gone. I might need the goo gone when I've got goo, but I don't have goo. Oh, shut up, Dave. Just making things ridiculous now. See, that was my impatience and you trying to press it when there was an air pocket in it. I don't want to make too much. I'll tip that into there. Yeah, so I'm making like an entomology type journal thing. You know, I made the see, this is what happens when you left it out a bit. You've got like this kind of gloopy bit. You see this? It started to react to the UV in the atmosphere, so it will set on its own. If you leave it just in the crucible, don't expect to come back to it. It'll set. You know, it just different levels. That's directed UV, so that's like up to a minute. If you're doing it, if you just leave it on, you know, out in the open, then like it's a few hours. Put it on a windowsill in the sunshine, it's like an hour or so. So just bear that in mind. Don't just leave it out and expect to come back to it and find a solid mess. Now I do have an air bubble there, but I think that's part of that gloopy bit. Yeah, it is. So I'm not going to worry about it too much. There's another one there. There we go. We got most of that one. Shame that's so far down. Let's see if we can move it up. Or did I glue it down? I don't know. Just push it. If you don't know what, you can't see what I'm doing. I'm just trying to move the butterfly into the middle of the thing. Now I've got the. Oh, it's happening now, isn't it? So I've done that bit. I'll take those out. That one can stay in there because that thing needs a bit longer, I think. That one can go in there. And we'll put the crucible in there. And the thing. Just to make sure it kind of sets. And then we're going to use a bit of something. A bit of paper towel, probably. Oh. Just to wipe over this surface. Like I say, when it dries, it'll just set. When it sets, I mean, it'll just be dry and like solid. But just because I'm still working on this area, I'm just going to wipe it down a bit. So this is the bit that I need to heat. Let's get rid of that. A minute. Where's the heat gun there? Put this into shot. And then heat this up. So this is that expand it stuff again. I mean, I don't know whether I'll use this in my entomology journal. I just wanted to show you what else you could do with the... I just love the way it turns into like that way that, like, you know, growth, that kind of like spores, bacterial growth. There you go. That looks like a Christmas tree. It's not a Christmas tree. So we can put the lid on that one because that's cool now. So we've got that little thing. We've got this one that I'd already got. Then we can put the lids on these because these should be on. Let's put that one back on to go. Oh no, where's the lids? Oh, that. So that should be done. Yeah. And we've got another one here. And then we've got that's still warm. Let's just leave that for a few minutes. And of course you can make other things, you know, like I've made in my previous one where you make nice, you can make key rings and all sorts of things. So this is a key ring mould. You just have to make sure that they're clean. You could put, I guess you could put a butterfly in this, couldn't you? Couldn't you? Couldn't ya? That is not very good English, Dave. Couldn't ya? Couldn't you? You could probably put a butterfly in here, couldn't you? He says, speaking Queen's English. It doesn't speak the Queen's English. So. Not wide enough. Butterflies are too wide. Maybe this. Pop that in there. See what that's going to look like. Let's just make that with some clear. Let's put that back on. You can't overbake it. Don't worry about like putting it back on again if it's already solid. Right, I'm going to put a little bit in first, and then I'm going to get that moving around the shape. And that's just so that this isn't on, like, you might as well have just stuck it to the back if it's like just on the very back of it. You want it encased. Just in case, I guess. He thinks he's funny. Nobody else does. He does, though. And he is me. That's what I'm talking about. So, oh, and I wanted to say, sorry, forgot forgot to say, the big thing that I wanted to say is thank you very much to everybody that's helped me get to 2,000. I am on 2,001 subscribers, and I'm so very grateful. I will be doing a giveaway. It's just that I'm having work done in my house at the moment, which I guess isn't helping with my breathing. So there's been a lot of wood being sawn and all of that. So I think that's why my breathing's so bad. So yeah, once I'm kind of past that point, I will do a bit of a giveaway. I haven't decided yet what I'm giving away. I'm terrible at making decisions like that. So I've asked Brian to help me find something. And he's going to pick something that you guys can then win, and I'll do a video for that, and you can then comment on that. So I just wanted to say thank you so much. I'm very grateful to you all for getting me there. And for watching, basically, and for, commenting and all the good stuff that happens that really helps me and my little channel, because otherwise YouTube thinks that you don't like me. It's really good. All of that extra stuff, all that stuff that you do is really good for my algorithm. So it's all about the algorithm, not the base. Right, okay, so that should be set. That is set to. That's the dribble. That's also set. And that's done. Okay, so pop that in there. Could do with like a little shovel, like a pizza oven, like a spatula for a pizza oven. Oh, do I have a little spatula actually, Dave? You probably do. You do. There you go. Pizza, anyone? Pop that in there. So if it hasn't been on as long, it might be because I've cut a bit out because I've coughed, because I just coughed then. So okay, so that's done, and that can now have that lid on. That's a little one. Oh, did I overfill it? I think I might have overfilled that one, and it's not shutting properly. Or is it spilling out somewhere? There we go. That's that one. And then that's that one. And then I'm going to make some bugs. Sorry, my nose is really itchy at the minute now. Oh, that's the other little germy one. Let's just push that out and get rid of that rubbish. Whilst we're waiting for that to cook. Okay, that can go in the bin. Can't get that off. That's the problem with wearing gloves, but you must wear gloves. Please promise me, if you're going to do anything with resins and that sort of thing, that you wear gloves, because it's not good for your skin. Oh, my nose. It's so itchy. Now is not the time to sneeze. So let's have a look and see what we've made, by the way. So while we're waiting, I made these. I made this, and I could do with being on a white background so you could see it, couldn't it? So really sorry, but the video cut out while I was decanting this. So I had a coughing fit while it was in there. Then when I was putting these on the white card, and it suddenly stopped working, so I have no idea what's going on. But anyway, I wanted to show you this. This is what we'd finished with. So the video will be weirdly spliced together. I have no idea what's gone on. I think it would run out of memory space, so I've deleted everything else that was on there, and then started the video again. So Anyway, that's the end of the video. So I just wanted to say thank you so much to everybody for helping me get to 2,000. I will be having a giveaway. That will be in an upcoming video. Not quite sure when the house is a bit less in disarray and I'm able to find stuff. I'm having a carpet fitted, you see, at the end of this week. It's Sunday for me at the moment. It'd be Monday for you, and I'm having a carpet fitted on Friday. And it'll be my first carpet since I moved into this house. So I think I've deserved it because I moved here in July 2015 and I'll be able to have a carpet at last. So scraped together some money and I'm now in that situation where I can actually have a carpet and have something soft under my feet. So yeah, that's in my living room. So I've lived without carpet for all that time. I know, it's just one of those things. If you can't afford it, you can't afford it, can you? So anyway, thanks very much, folks. Thanks for watching. Thanks for helping me get to 2,000. And I'm on 2001 at the minute. So and I will see you all in the next video. Thank you very much again. Lots of love from me. Don't forget. I can't remember. Don't forget the thing that I can't remember. I love you all without exception until you give me a reason not to. So don't give me a reason not to. And I'll see you all very soon. Thanks very much, folks. Lots of love. Lots of hugs. And I'll see you soon. Take care. This is the bit when I stood up and looked and went, oh, I can't believe it hasn't recorded. But luckily it recorded most of it, not all of it. All right then, folks. Take care. See you soon. Bye.